Why is victimhood so dangerous? Well, I don't mean to suggest that when a person has been victimized, that person automatically becomes dangerous. When I speak of victimhood in this context, I'm talking more about our current cultural push to sort of attain victim status so that you can become more aggrieved and more owed, more entitled. This is very common part of what is known as intersectionality, where we sort of stack together all the different ways different people are aggrieved, or even critical race theory. It is something done in psychology. It's just rampant everywhere, so much so that I don't think I need to spend any time demonstrating it or proving it to you, but I do want to spend a few minutes talking about why it is so dangerous. It almost feels like something soft and sweet and gentle and kind, and that's why we should encourage it. There's nothing wrong with gentleness and tenderness to those who feel like they have been hurt, unless or until one of two things happens. One is you can, in an unhealthy way, enable or coddle the so-called victim. One of the great evils of this kind of victimhood is it communicates to the victim that they're not responsible for their behavior or their circumstance. I can't help it. I'm a victim. I can't help it. I suffered under this kind of discrimination. I can't help it. I was treated this way in my youth. I was triggered by that. All of these are excuses for typically bad behavior. Now, it may very well be, I'm not here to dispute that such a person might truly be a victim and there might be a connection, but it doesn't help if the perspective is once you have been victimized, you get a free pass. That your sins are covered by the sins that are committed against you. No, it's not justification by other people's sins against me. That's one of the deepest problems, and maybe the one that should hit closest to home. But as things continue to spread in this victimization game, where there's so much to be gained by acquiring victim status, one of the other great evils of this is we victimize the falsely accused. We victimize the falsely accused. That is, if I have done nothing in the least bit aggressive, and yet it is perceived as a microaggression, and I am perceived as a bully or a bad guy, then genuine harm can come to me. We saw this in the Covington High School debacle, where a young teenage boy is there in Washington participating in a protest, and we were shown video of a confrontation between this young boy and an elderly Native American fellow, and everybody jumped on the bandwagon that this young student was a horrible, reprehensible, wicked, terrible guy. Until we saw the rest of the video and we found out he wasn't. When we're quick, and we get this language, believe the victims, I am more than happy to encourage the believing of victims, including those victims who are being victimized by false accusations. We believe victims when it has been demonstrated that they have been victimized. We do not believe accusers simply on the basis of the accusation. That's precisely what the devil would like for us to do, to convict without trial. I see it all the time. I see it in discernment blogs. I see it just everywhere you turn, there's so-and-so's been accused, therefore they're guilty. There's a cloud hanging, there's a scandal here, there's this, there's that. Well, maybe, maybe not. But I want you to remember this principle. A world, a humanity that is wicked enough to be guilty of racial animosity, a humanity that's wicked enough to be guilty of sexual perversion, of this and of that, a humanity that is that's capable of all the horrible things that we accuse people of, is also capable of falsely accusing people.